What's a uniquely European problem? Sometimes it's cheaper to fly to another EU country than to the city in your country. Not getting any cool stamps in the passport when traveling through Europe. The wrong song representing your country in Eurovision. Still better, where are you from? It doesn't matter, it's a pretty universal European experience. Russians on our CSGO servers. In the American servers we just have drunk people pretending to be Russian. I'm not sure if that's better or worse. Spending 3 hours driving to another country because a soda, candy and alcohol is cheaper and filling entire trailers and cars with it. Everyone who lives in Denmark on Jack's road trip over the border to Germany shopping at places like Kohl and Flegert and stockpile huge amounts of soda, food and alcohol so that they have enough for months or years to come. It's basically just shitty Viking raids. It's cheaper to take 2-week holiday to Mallorca than a 10-day nature trip to Center Parks. People not speaking in online games since they don't speak English as their first language and are insecure about it. Not being sure of exactly what country you're in sometimes when you're driving through some border regions. Taking a detour through Germany or France depending on traffic conditions. Having a website in Russian language automatically because some people still think your country is part of Soviet Union. Having to dig massive catacombs under cities to store all the dead bodies. Paying for public toilets. I don't even mind having to pay. It's the utter lack of them that bothers me. My bladder is the size of a grape and I sometimes have to hold it for hours until I find a paid toilet when I'm abroad. Having to Google does X take the euro every time. If the country doesn't then you're coming home with lots of fiddling small change that the banks won't deal with. In my drawer right now I have 20 Croatian kunas, 418 Ukrainian hryvnias, 50 Russian rubles, 100 Hungarian forint, 3.17 euros, 1000 Albanian lika and 25 Bulgarian leva. The Balkans. Source: I'm from the Balkans. Speaking many languages but only in the formal polite forms instead of the slangs and curses. Small roads. Dunno if this is just England, but my street can only fit one car and a skinny person in the main road. Outside it, can barely squeeze a bus and a big van. Italy is supposed to be the worst for small roads. There's a reason they make small cars. This content is not available in your region. Despite all the data mining, Google will still suggest me website in German even though it knows that I only speak French. Edit. Yes, I also speak English but on local websites there is either French or German so the website will automatically set the German option despite my location being in the French speaking part of my country. Driving 4 hours to see the Eiffel Tower and getting caught up in a riot. PFFT. We drove 10 hours from the UK for the weekend and got tear gassed twice, uphill, both ways. American recipes that require a packet or a can of ready-made Old J secret mix. Having to translate American recipes to real units. Missing an exit and accidentally driving through Belgium. Being at a social function where people randomly switch between 4 different languages. Being redirected to the regional website even though you don't speak the local language. Not being able to get to work because they dug up another WW2 bomb and need to shut down a whole neighborhood. Never being more than a 2-hour walk from civilization. Remembering the default speed limits of every neighboring country. Winters that are cold enough to make summer sports impossible, but not cold enough to make winter sports possible. The vodka got expensive again. You can tell how far east you've traveled by the price of vodka. Is it cheaper or more expensive in the east? Alcohol in general is cheapest in Central Eastern Europe, and once you hit Russia it's cheaper than water or petrol and is often used interchangeably in place of both. And once you hit deep country in Russia, it's also used interchangeably with money. In fact, it's probably more valuable because there's no inflation with vodka. Having a war every 20 years or so. Sincerely, someone living in the Balkans. Ryanair might as well pay extra for breathing in the plane. Ryanair is just a social experiment to see how much humiliation people are willing to put up with for cheap flight tickets. Cigarette butts everywhere. Ever go to Barcelona? The place is basically one big ashtray. The UK. Different Netflix content when you change country. problem of Germany and most likely London and the area around. Can't tell for other countries, so not sure if it counts, but I'm pretty confident that besides Spain every country has this problem to some extent, having to plan for bomb defusal whenever there is a bigger excavation in or near any bigger city. WW2 left some exciting treasures to search for. Having Americans thinking Europe is a unified culture rather than 50 separate countries. Tourists trying to be Irish. Oh my god, yes, it's so annoying. All the Americans are like my granddad's dog's brother's owner's cousin's friend is Irish, so that means I'm part Irish. English tourists everywhere has them, but in Europe you get the best of them. I had a flatmate who was Australian. He had only ever met British people that can afford to fly to the other side of the world. He went his whole life thinking British people were reasonably classy. Then he came to Magaluf. How many cheek kisses do I do here? In France it's 2. In the Netherlands, it's 3. Are there more kisses in other places? How many kisses are acceptable in formal situations? Please, can't we just shake hands awkwardly like in the UK? I've worked a lot in France, I'm English, live in the Netherlands. I still get worked up about kisses. It isn't the Brit way. Viking raids. Sorry about that. The second Viking. Opinion. Not sorry. Article 13. Order 66. Paying in the same currency without knowing any word of the other person's language. When someone from the USA says Europe, they almost always mean France and the UK and don't even know about the existence of your nation. Getting confused when Americans use month, day, year and Fahrenheit. This one country that wants to leave but wants a good deal, but this one woman's ideas for the deal are just bad and have been voted against 3 times, but nobody else wants to make a deal and they're supposed to leave in less than 2 weeks. Waking up to new weird American memes on Reddit. I'm from the Netherlands. Oh, where's that? Never heard of it. Amsterdam. I know that place. Do you smoke weed? Driving far too long and accidentally missing the last exit, and therefore ending up in an entire different country. Move to Australia. Everyone here thinks I'm Russian. Where are you from? Russia. Suppressing the urge to rule over the world. Living in Luxembourg but ordering a pizza in Germany because it's cheaper. A plan to steal the Eiffel Tower. When they find another unexploded WW2 bomb nearby and shut off the whole neighborhood. And now you can't go grocery shopping. You have been visited by the smart studying doggo. You'll be blessed with good grades only if you subscribe to Comment Awards and like the video. PG! On top, food chain, won't stop, new game, hot box that blue haze, 1 lot, 2 chains, no bras, 2 babes, mic drop, new stage, lights in my rear view, 5 cops, food race, faster than a Tesla, they say I'm exhausted.